Two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. Never memorize something that you can look up. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious. Try not to become a man of success, rather become a man of value. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. Once you can accept the universe as matter expanding into nothing that is something, wearing stripes with plaid comes easy. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. You never fail until you stop trying. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. If A is a success in life, then A equals X plus Y plus Z. Work is X, E is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut. Black holes are where God divided by zero. Everything must be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up, but when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. We dance for laughter, we dance for tears, we dance for madness, we dance for fears, we dance for hopes, we dance for screams. We are the dancers, we create the dreams. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. It would be possible to describe everything scientifically, but it would make no sense. It would be without meaning, as if you described a Beethoven symphony as a variation of wave pressure. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking. We all know that light travels faster than sound. That's why certain people appear bright until you hear them speak. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. However rare true love may be, it is less so than true friendship. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know and understand. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is at all comprehensible. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. You can never solve a problem on the level on which it was created. I never think of the future. It comes soon enough. What a sad era when it is easier to smash an atom than a prejudice. Reading, after a certain age, diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Student: Dr. Einstein, aren't these the same questions as last year's physics final exam? Dr. Einstein: yes, but this year the answers are different. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know, that we are here for the sake of each other, above all for those upon whose smile and well-being our own happiness depends, and also for the countless unknown souls with whose fate we are connected by a bond of sympathy. Many times a day I realize how much my own outer and inner life is built upon the labors of my fellow men, both living and dead, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give in return as much as I have received. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are incapable of forming such opinions. If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. If there is any religion that could respond to the needs of modern science, it would be Buddhism. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble mind. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and all science. He to whom this emotion is a stranger, who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe, is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. If at first the idea is not absurd, then there is no hope for it. I believe in intuitions and inspirations. I sometimes feel that I am right. I do not know that I am. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. He to whom the emotion is a stranger, who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe, is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. The insight into the mystery of life, coupled though it be with fear, has also given rise to religion. To know what is impenetrable to us really exists, manifesting itself as the highest wisdom and the most radiant beauty, which our dull faculties can comprehend only in their most primitive forms. This knowledge, this feeling, is at the center of true religiousness.